Bill C-16 passed in Canada today, and if you're not familiar with Bill C-16, it covers gendered pronouns in the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario, I believe. It basically extends hate crime provisions to include that of misgendering somebody or for failing to use their proper name. Now, as many advocates for the bill have insisted over and over again, this would only be to punish worst case scenario offenses of this law. However, as we have seen in every other law, the law doesn't pick and choose which people to enforce it. It enforces it as it is interpreted by the words that are there. Now, I won't pretend to be an expert on this, but what really got a lot of people against Bill C-16 wasn't that people hated trans people. It wasn't that people were wanting to discriminate or misgender somebody. It's that the demands were a bit ridiculous. First off, we're talking about compelled speech. We're talking about a government mandate to force you to speak in a certain way. This could be used in so many scenarios, especially ones that I can come up with, because I can be a bit paranoid from time to time. This is something that can be really, really bad. Government forcing you to refer to somebody a certain way or to call somebody a certain thing. And now that there are 70, 90 plus genders, all of them with different declensions of he, she, him, and her, it makes things overly complicated. Now, one of the things I was reading, because curiously I couldn't find any articles published by main news outlets talking about this. In fact, I found no articles at all. None. All I found was a tweet by Jordan Peterson saying that it passed through without any amendments at all, even though he fought this thing tooth and nail trying to explain that this is about the compelled speech that is included into it. One of the things I've been seeing from celebratory people on Twitter saying that this is a landmark decision for human rights and trans rights, and finally trans people have human rights guaranteed to them. I don't know what rights they had that they didn't have before. Having the government force somebody to call you something is not a right. That is you being oppressive and authoritarian. It has nothing to do with respect. Now, I know we could get into the whole, well, he wants to be a man, or she wants to be a man, and you're calling her Margaret. She wants to be called Mark. You're being rude. Whatever. I don't give a shit what people want to do with themselves or call themselves or anything. But when we're making things needlessly complicated and giving people who we have records that show that they are not mentally fit, the trans community, and my sympathy goes out to them, but the trans community are 20 times more likely to commit suicide. And that it actually goes up after they have their conversion surgery. So we're going to allow people who are this on the fringe. They're essentially saying that if they don't get what they want, they'll kill themselves. We're giving these people ammo to decide, well, this person just harassed me because they called me Z instead of Zim. This is ridiculous. So this is the death of freedom of speech in Canada. I don't mean to be overdramatic, but we have coming up the anti-Islamophobia bill. I forget what the name is for it, but it's like M109, I think. And if that passes, you guys are fucked up there, if not already. And I even watched, I was going to do a video on it, but there wasn't much you can trim down from an hour-long debate with Jordan Peterson, his lawyer, Jared Brown, and then the people who were speaking in favor of the bill. I couldn't trim any of it up, so I was going to put it up for you guys, try to get it under like 20 minutes, but if you're interested, you should really check out the full video. But it was almost as if they cared more about one or two people's feelings than a nation's freedoms. And the big part about this that really bothers me is this person's feelings not only do they not matter, in the grand scheme of things, I want everyone to be happy, but if you're putting someone's feelings before their freedoms, straight the fuck up. Their feelings don't care. Their feelings are going to change from day to day anyway. As human beings, that's how we are. But to say that somebody's feelings and their mental stability is based on whether or not this law goes through, because this law guarantees them an ability to use legislature to bully people who might accidentally misgender them. Now, they insist over and over again, oh, this will only be used in the worst types of harassment. Well, I don't see the law being enforced on a case-by-case basis. It's always, hey, if you stole a candy bar, guess what? You broke the fucking law. You stole. It doesn't like, oh, well, you were hungry? Well, we'll let you off with a warning this time. The law does not work like that. The law enforces itself in every possible way it can be interpreted. So, this is a sad day for Canada and therefore the world.